So as we learned before, the entire ledger used in Bitcoins, the whole blockchain, is public. So the ledger contains all transactions done using Bitcoins. For each transaction, anybody can see the sender address, the receiver address, and the amount. Now, if the sender and the receiver are using proper OPSEC and obtain their Bitcoins anonymously, then these addresses will not be tied to their identities. But like I said, there are a number of ways that these addresses can tie to a person's identity. The easiest is if the person bought Bitcoins using a coin exchange that requires identity verification, or if the person or the entity you're sending coins to has made their address public and is linked to an actual identity. For example, if you're sending money to a known store or to a known market. Therefore, based on this information, anyone can analyze the blockchain. They can know exactly the balance of each address by tracing the amount of money sent to this address, so they can know how much money is in your wallet. They can track your spending habits, and based on that, they can profile you and serve you more things, more ads, and so on. Not only that, but if you have a considerable amount of coins, then you'll become a target because people know that you have a lot of coins in your wallet, again by tracing the amount of coins sent to your address. Not to mention the fact that if you're sending money to an entity that is linked to an actual identity, or if your actual identity gets linked to your address, then this will reveal even more information that you might not want to be public. All of this was the incentive to making a more private cryptocurrency. There is a number of private cryptocurrencies. The most popular at the moment is Monero or XMR. Now, it's similar to Bitcoin. It's decentralized, so there is no single entity that controls it. But unlike Bitcoin, it is private. So if you analyze the whole blockchain, you won't be able to get useful information on who is sending money to whom and the amount sent. So you can see addresses, but the addresses used are temporary and secured. Therefore, you can't see the actual sender, you can't see the actual receiver, and you can't see the real amount being transferred. Therefore, what you analyze is not very useful, the transactions are untraceable, and the sender and receiver are not linkable. All of this is achieved using ring signatures, ring confidential transactions, and stealth addresses. The exact way how all of this works is a little bit complex, and it dives too much on how blockchain and cryptocurrencies work. Therefore, I'm not going to cover it in this course, but I will include useful resources in the resources section of this lecture, which you can read for further information. Now, unfortunately, Tails does not come with a Monero wallet. We have to manually install it, but installing it is very, very easy. So let's go to Tails and see how to do that. First of all, you need to go to the download page of the official Monero website. I'll include its link in the resources of this lecture. And you want to scroll down to the Linux download link. Now I have the 64-bit version of Tails installed. Therefore, I'm going to click in here to download the 64-bit version of the Monero wallet. Now, just like any other download, you want to click on Save File and select the location where you want to download it. So by default, it goes into Amnesia Tor browser. And as you can see, I've already downloaded it in here. So I'm not going to click on Save, but in your case, you want to click on Save and wait for it to fully download the wallet for you. I'm going to click on Cancel because I've already downloaded it before this lecture to save time. And as you can see, I already have it here in my Tor browser directory. And before interacting with this file, just like any file we download from the internet, we need to make sure that this file did not get modified as it was being downloaded, because as explained before, anything that you download from the internet can be edited and modified at a number of locations as it's being downloaded. So previously, we saw how to verify downloads using their PGP signature. The verification process really depends on the information the developer is giving us. So as you can see in this case in here, the developer is not giving us a PGP signature. Instead, it's giving us a SHA-256 hash. So to verify a downloaded file with its SHA-256 hash, we need to go to Applications, Accessories, and we're going to use an application called GTK hash. I'm going to open this application, and in the file field in here, I'm going to select the file that I want to verify its hash. This is the file that I just downloaded. So I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to go to Tor browser. And this is the file that we just downloaded. I'm going to click on Open, and I'm going to click on Hash to calculate its hash. Now we have the SHA-256 hash in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of this and compare it to the hash that the developer is giving us here on the download page. Now, as you can see, the hashes match. This means that the file did not get modified as it's been downloaded, because if a single bit is changed in that file, the hash that I just calculated manually on my local computer will not correspond to the hash that we have on the web page in here. So because the hashes are matching, this means that the file did not get modified since this hash right here got calculated. So we can interact with this file now safely as long as we trust the developer that gave us the file. So I'm going to right click this file because it's a package, and I'm going to click on extract here to extract it. Okay, perfect, that's done. So you can leave it here, but if you leave it here, as you know, Tails is amnesic, so when we restart the computer, these files will not exist. Therefore, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it in my persistent directory. So right click and paste. And if we navigate inside it, we'll actually see another directory for the application itself. So I'm actually just going to cut this and paste it outside just to make it easier to access. And I'm going to delete the empty one. And I'm going to rename this one to just Monero GUI, again, just to make it easier to access. And if we navigate inside this directory, you'll see we have a number of files that's needed by the wallet application. And the main file that starts the wallet is this file right here, the startgui.sh. Now this is a bash file, which means that it can only be executed from the terminal, from the Linux terminal. Now, if you've done any of my other courses, this will be very, very easy for you. If you haven't, then don't worry about it. In the next lecture, I'll show you how to run it and create our first Monero wallet. Okay, so now that we have the wallet application downloaded, verified, and extracted in our persistent directory, in this lecture, I'm going to show you how to run this application and use it to create a Monero wallet. Now, as I said in the previous lecture, the file that runs the wallet application is this one. It is a bash file, therefore it needs to be executed from the terminal. To do this, we can start a terminal in the current working directory by right-clicking the directory that we want to open the terminal in and click on Open in Terminal. As you can see, you'll get a terminal window, but this terminal is already in persistent Monero GUI, which is the directory that we requested the terminal in, which is again persistent Monero GUI. Now we can use the ls command and hit enter to see all of the directories and files in the current working directory. And as you can see, all of these files and directories are identical to what we see in here. And what we want to do is we want to execute this file right here, the startgui.sh. Again, we can see it in here. And to execute it, all we have to do is type // followed by the file name, which is startgui.sh. Hit enter, give it some time, and the wallet graphical interface will start for you. You can use the language here to change the language, or click on continue if you're happy with English. Now we're going to have to use the advanced mode in here because we're going to use this wallet on Tails, and we'll have to manually configure it to use an Onion service to sync with the Monero blockchain. So I'm going to click on advanced mode, And as you can see now, the steps that we're going to go through are very similar to the steps that we went through when we created the Electrum Bitcoin wallet. So the first option will allow us to create a new wallet. The other options will allow us to restore an existing wallet. You can restore from a hardware device, from a wallet file, or from a seed or a key. Now, we don't have a wallet yet, so we're going to click on Create a New Wallet to create a new wallet. Now, the first thing it's going to ask us for is the wallet name, and I'm going to call this John Wick Wallet. Next, you'll have to set the wallet location. Keep in mind, on Tails, everything gets deleted every time you restart the computer. Therefore, if you keep this to the default location, your wallet will be deleted once you restart Tails, and you'll have to restore it using the seed in here. If you don't want this to happen, if you want to always be able to access the wallet from your Tails installation, click on Browse and change the location to somewhere within the persistent directory. Now, as we know, everything within the persistent will not be deleted when the computer restarts, and therefore you'll always be able to access the wallet from within your current installation. So you'd want to navigate to the persistent directory, and as you can see, we already have a directory called Monero GUI. This is the directory that contains the wallet GUI that we're using right now. So it'll make sense to place our wallet inside it in here. So I'm going to click on this icon in here to create a new directory, and I'm going to call this directory wallets. And I'm going to click on choose to store my wallet inside this directory. So my wallet is going to be stored in home, amnesia, persistent, Monero GUI, wallets. And as you can see, we have the directory here created because we created it within this working directory. Now, it's also a good idea to copy the seed, which you can use to restore the wallet in case the file got deleted, or if you wanted to use the wallet from a completely different computer, you can restore your wallet using this seed. And you can use this number in here as the block number when restoring your wallet, and using this number will help you restore the wallet much quicker. Once it's done with everything, click on Next. Now it's going to ask us to set a password for the wallet. It's going to ask you for the daemon settings, so you can keep this to the default, which will start a node automatically in the background on your system. This option will download the whole Monero blockchain on your computer. This is the most private way of using Monero, but keep in mind the size of the blockchain is more than 25 gigabytes. So you'll have to wait. So first of all, you need to have enough storage. Second, you'll need to wait for all of this data to be downloaded. Keep in mind the download speed is reduced when you're using Tails because everything is going through the Tor network. Third, this is a resource hungry process, so you need a powerful enough computer to do that. Alternatively, you can click on Connect to a remote node. With this option, we're going to use a remote node to sync with the Monero blockchain. This means that we'll be able to instantly use the blockchain, we'll be instantly able to send and receive funds, and we won't need to download the whole blockchain. So, in order to use this option, we need a remote server that we'll sync with. And I'm going to include links in the resources to a website where you can get Onion services that can be used as nodes. All you'll have to do is literally copy the server in here and paste it in the server location and set the port to the port that we have in here, which is 18099. Hit next. It's going to show you a review of all the settings that you selected. We're going to say yes, that's fine. Open the wallet for me, please. And as you can see, this will show us the interface of the wallet. Now, as you can see, it's telling us that we are disconnected, but now it's trying to connect, it's trying to sync with the remote node that we gave it. And you'll see that this will be very, very quick. Unlike the other option where you start the node locally, in which you'll have to wait for the whole blockchain to be downloaded, which, like I said, is over 25 gigabytes. And perfect, as you can see, the wallet is synchronized, the daemon is synchronized. If we click on the account in here, we'll be able to access our account page. And as you can see, we have 0 funds because we literally just created the wallet. And that's it. Right now we have our Monero wallet created. Using the wallet in here is very similar to Electrum. As you can see, we have the accounts page, which shows a summary of the account. We can use the send to send funds, receive to get the receive address and receive funds, and transactions to see our transactions. Don't worry about all of this. We will use this more in the next lectures and you'll get very comfortable with it. Now, before moving on, I just want to show you how to log back into this wallet after restarting Tails, because logging in is slightly different than what you're used to with Electrum and other wallets. So I'm going to close everything and I'm going to restart Tails. And now that I'm back and logged in, I'm going to go to the location where I stored my wallet GUI, which is in persistent. So I'm going to go to home. I'm going to go to persistent and it's stored in here in Monero GUI. And as you know, we need to execute this bash file from terminal. So I'm going to right click this, open in terminal. And to execute this file, we're going to type // followed by the file name, which is startgui.sh. This will start the wallet GUI, but as you can see, it starts it as if it's the first time. So unlike Electrum, it wasn't able to detect that I already have a wallet on the system. So we're going to click on continue, that's fine. And at the next step, we're going to say we want to go with the advanced mode. And instead of creating a new wallet, we want to restore our existing wallet. You can use the last option to restore it using the seed, which you should have stored. Or you can click on open a wallet from file and select the file where you stored the wallet. So we're going to click on browse file system. And I'm going to navigate to the location where I stored my wallet. So if you remember, we stored it in our persistent directory inside Monero GUI. And I should have stored it inside wallets. That's why I created that directory. But I accidentally stored it in this directory. So we can see we have a file called John Wick Wallet. This is the name of my wallet. And inside it, I have the wallet keys. So we're going to select that and click on open. I'm going to put the wallet password. And this will log me back into the wallet. Now we're still not ready because as you can see, the wallet is not connected because the daemon did not start. I'm going to click on use custom settings in here because remember, we want to use custom settings to connect through a remote node. So we'll have to do this manually again. We're going to have to click on remote node in here. And we're going to use the same remote node information that we used when we set up the wallet. We actually have to do all of this because the settings of the wallet got deleted after our restart. So again, you'll need to go to moneroworld.com/nodes and copy the node hidden service in here. Remember the port 18099. Paste the URL, put the port, and connect. And as you can see now, it's going to start connecting to the node, synchronizing with it so that you can go ahead and start using your wallet. And right now the wallet is synchronized and the daemon is synchronized. So if we go to our account, we'll be able to retrieve the amount that we have, which is 0, as you can see in here. And we can send and receive funds like I said, and like I'm going to show you in the next lectures.